Alright, welcome back. Working on this 2011 again. It seems like I'm working on this thing a lot, but it's a pretty solid truck, so I think we're going to keep it and keep doing some minor repairs to it. Today I'm doing wheel bearings and ball joints on it, so I'm going to take you through that process. Got my new parts here. People don't want to put stuff back. We're going to be replacing both wheel bearings because they're you can kind of hear them grinding. These are Timkins. It's a pretty big wheel bearing, the hub assembly and everything. Timken bearings, from what I've read online, those seem to be top of the line. And then I have my upper and lower ball joints here. These are Terrain Tough. These are Rock Auto. They're listed as the heavy duty set. I've used them before with some pretty good results. They're definitely better quality than some of the other stuff. This brand's also available at Napa, but they're double the price. So we're going to be working on that today. So I've kind of already got started, but first thing you want to do is jack your vehicle up. I got it up on jack stands here. Remove my tire, remove my brake caliper. I got that set on the milk crate here so the lines aren't being dragged. I am doing both, so I took the tires off both sides and got it up so I could spin the wheel and use that to my advantage to get the stuff off. Brake caliper off. I'm going to take the rotor off now and tuck that out of the way off to the side. So you got the wheel underneath the truck there, kind of. After that, you're going to take both of your locking hubs out. Those are just 3 screws. They're a Torx 27. They slide right out. That's this piece right here. Sometimes they come apart. They're a common fail point on these trucks, so it might be worth just replacing them. But mine look like they're in okay shape. The springs are good, so we're gonna continue to reuse them. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. So let's get started with that. The wheel bolts are a 13/16 socket. So is the brake caliper bolts. So that makes it easy, one size. And I guess next thing I'm going to be going after is this wire here. Getting that unplugged, getting the rotor off, and getting the wheel bearing separated. And the spring clip inside there. That's the biggest part. I've had this part before, so it's all never seized up. Rotor comes right off. Rotor looks good. Now, the wiring harness. Alright, wire harness is disconnected. Alright, now we're going to be going after these 4 bolts back here. So you got my socket on one that looks like it's a 13/16 as well. 4 of them, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, top, bottom, all 4 points. And then that plus the spring clip, the snap ring, we'll get our wheel bearing off. You can use common hand tools. I just prefer the power for speed sakes because I gotta do both sides. So that's gonna spin all this stuff out. Now this typically isn't what comes out. It's the stud's supposed to stay in there, but that's all right. It does. It comes. You gotta install the studs yourself. But to each their own, whatever. We'll get it done. Now this is the nice thing about taking both wheels off, is that I can spin this back and forth and use the knuckle turning to my advantage here, which is good. I can get to bolts a lot easier, rather than if I left a wheel on and left it down on the ground, I wouldn't be able to turn it. So let's get the front ones out now. Alright, I got all 4 studs out now that hold the wheel bearing in place. Before you take anything else apart, note where this heat shield goes. because it'll fit on every direction. But in this case, you want the caliper cut out in the back. There's a kind of a flat cutout, okay? So you don't put that back on wrong or inside out or something like that. It's stupid. All right, now if that's done, we got to go after the clip inside the hub locking actuator. All right, going after this clip now. I don't know, it's pretty greased in there. See if I can't tell, but there's a snap ring in there around that center shaft. So we have to expand it and pull that back out, which is kind of a pain if you don't have the right tools. That's why I recommend something like this, something thin and long to get in there. So the ones that I found that really work, they've got to be really long, and they get it right off. Let's see if I can go fishing. Getting it? Ah, there we go. Okay, got it. There's the clip. It's a pretty beefy looking clip we got there. It takes a lot to really press that around. Normally, once it falls out of the groove, it slips right out. That's why these slim pliers are what you need. So we'll set that aside. Now the wheel bearing should come out. Fell right out, that's good. Okay, wheel bearings out. This is what I was talking about with the orientation. This is why the orientation is important. Making sure this thing's still on. Alright, so we'll set that off to the side. Maybe I'll set that right like that. That's how it's going to go back on. But we had a clunking noise up front, and this thing had been grinding. So probably a bad seal went, and then that took the bearing. There's no play in the bearing, but there's a grinding noise. I mean, there's probably dirt in it, and it's going to go sooner than later. And I want to get done before snow. This is a big plow truck for us. Now, if I was just doing a wheel bearing, I wouldn't go any farther. I would go put my thing back on, put my new wheel bearing back on, C-clip, blah, 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 back together. In this case, because I'm doing the wheel bearing and the ball joint, which is up here, I got to take this shaft out and basically take this whole knuckle off, I guess, to be able to do the job. How's that on there? Got a vacuum line here. Alright, whatever. The point is, this drive shaft's got to come out to be able to do the bearings. So what I've done, the seal's not great. Not bad. They're always bad. These seals don't last long. You can see I just spun the U-joint. What I'll do is I'll put a bolt in here, and I'll have somebody turn the wheel, and we'll end up just kind of pushing the whole thing right out. Pushing the thing out straight rather than me trying to pull on it by hand. Or I've put a pry bar in here and been able to slide it out. Basically I gotta slide the whole shaft out, make clearance in here so I can come in and get this nut off the bottom and the nut off the top here for the upper ball joint and lower ball joint so we can do the press. I guess I'll give it a whirl, see if I can pull it out, but I doubt it. Yeah. All right, turn the other way. Stop. Turn it back the other way. Stop. Okay, keep going towards the passenger side. Turn the wheel right. Keep going. Keep going. Stop. Go back the other way. Keep going. Alright, stop. Other way. Still nothing there. Stop. What's going on here? Oh, I'm in enough. Okay. Back up. Straighten it out. There we go. All right. I got it. Yep. Alright, that worked pretty good. We got the whole thing out. So now after these ball joints, let's see how dry they are. Holy smokes. And after this big nut in here, I got a 1 5/16". This should hopefully drop the knuckle, is my plan. The problem with ball joints is they like to spin on themselves. But I think this one's rusted in place enough that I can just wrench it. Getting easier. All right. That's tough. All right, well, the cotter key I couldn't get out, so we ended up just breaking it. And I'll have to get a new one. No big deal, because that's a new ball joint anyway. But I tried to put heat to it, tried to clean it, get it open, but it was a lost cause. So, we'll scratch this all up, I guess. Alright, so this knuckle's loose now. This is kind of a shim for your alignment, because there's no way to align the pitch of this wheel in and out, so they put these different shims in there. I just marked it, so if it got moved I can put it back. I don't know if it will or not. I got this vacuum line disconnected. It should be clear to drop this thing. Alright, time to get these ball joints out. I have never done this before on this particular truck. You can see how easy that one's moving, and that one's even worse, this upper one. On the truck I had the play up and down, but now that it's loose, maybe there's a little bit, but that right there is enough to change them. Just get this truck to last more years. So this one looks like it's just pressed in. I'll confirm with the new part. This one's got a clip on it. So let's take a look at the new parts. Now I'm looking at this lower ball joint. Actually, this is the upper. This is the upper ball joint. I'm seeing it looks like it's just pressed in here. There's no clip, unless I got to dig for it. But I was just comparing it to my new parts here. Let's see. This one is the. This one's the lower. That's got the clip. Okay, that one's lower. Now this one right here must be the upper. This one here also has a clip. So we got to figure out where the clip goes. Is what I'm just comparing parts to see what I got to work with. If there's a clip on here. Is there a clip in here maybe? I'm not seeing one. This is going to be interesting. Alright, so I got that on there. There's a snap ring on top, took that off. I got this big adapter in there, so I'll effectively push the joint through. And yeah, and then the stud should come out the center hole there. So let me get a wrench on that and we'll go after that. We're going to try to just press it through first before I have to add any flame. It has been soaking a little bit with some lubricant. Oh, there we go. First pop. This looks good. Push, push, push. Oh man, it's getting stiff now. There's a lot of rust right around this collar here. WD-40's up here. Some PB Blast or something, just something a little better to lubricate. Still lubricate your tool, I guess. Keep that all clean. Man, this is a tough one. I would think I'd be moving. Oh man, I'm loosening it up in the thing here. It's tight. Time to get the heat. I used to try to use smaller torches, but it always took too long. So I've been just saying, screw the smaller torch. Just get the big one out. Effectively, this could be down like this, getting caught and not pushing straight through. And I'm basically pushing on the joint itself, but just doing nothing. So let's verify everything's in line. That's in there now. So we'll try again. Oh man. Man, that's a tough one. It ain't going anywhere, is it? Man, I think I gotta add more heat or something here. This one doesn't have a clip on it, but I took a wire wheel to everything first this time because I couldn't get it to push. And now we're making a push. Boom. Got it. That one came out one time. That one came out one piece. All right. Cool. That one's out. Now you can see there's a little bit of rust in there. I'm going to clean that all up with some emery cloth. And we're going to put a little bit of, not WD-40. We're going to put a little bit of Never Season in there just so when these things slide in, they slide in nice and easy. Alright, so before I took this apart, I questioned whether there was supposed to be a clip on there or not. It comes with a snap ring, but I can't push the thing through far enough, which is the same way the other one, with the one I took off is, so that must be the right way, even though to me that doesn't seem right, because they should extend that collar and make it so you can put a clip on it. But I mean, that's how it was when it came off, so we're going to have to roll with it. Alright, back in the truck now. Changing this seal out. It had a little bit of play in it. Had my seal puller. Pulled it. It's got a metal. It's all metal with a little rubber on the inside, so got a new one of those to put in. Here's my knuckle with the new ball joints in it. I'm working on getting the seal in and then getting that back on. Got a feel with a wire brush. Does the trick. They had a 22-yard bark blower down in Kentucky.
Yeah, I saw that big thing you were standing next to.
I stood next to it just to get the feel for how big it was.
I'd love to have that MT85 rack out.
Oh yeah,
I would love to have it.
I sent it to you, right?
Yeah.
First one on the market, right there.
I want it.
I tried. They
So
had,
use it.
I know, and that spinny bucket. I tried 2 of those out. They had 2 of those there.
I tell you that.
All right, I got the new seal in there. Put some Never Season on the back of it to help it slide in. And now I'm going to put the knuckle on. All right, so for these ball joints, it takes a 8mm. Is that an 8mm Allen key and a 1 5/16" wrench to get that ball joint tight. And you actually reverse. You take it off with the Allen key, you spin it off, then it actually spins the nut on, basically. It's weird, but it works. Real tight. Alright, so I got the drive shaft back in. New seal installed on that. That's the outer seal and the inner, no, the middle seal, center seal. There's another seal on the inside of the pumpkin that they call the inner seal, so when you're ordering parts, just make sure you know that. Now we're going to work on putting the studs in the back of this wheel bearing, and then we can put this wheel bearing back in and check it, and have that suck the rest of that other seal back in. I'm going to put some Loctite on these before I install them, because there's really no good way to really tighten these things down. What's going on here? They do melt my thing closed. Yeah, somehow the thing's melted closed. Getting these things started. Either one's the same end. This particular one did not come with new nuts, so I'm using the old nuts. But I'm just getting these studs started by hand. Then I'll crank them down with my wrench setup. Alright, time to put the wheel bearing on. Gotta clean up this mess a little bit. I got a mess around here. That's good. Now, I'm gonna spin this thing. We're gonna kind of thread these on and suck this thing in. Hopefully that'll also at the same time pull that one seal into place.